Today I'm going to be talking about every enemy bot that is planned for Scrap Mechanic Survival 1.0 as of this recording. There are 8 currently planned that we know of, and there's currently 5 that are in the game, so that'll bring a total of 13 when 1.0 happens, unless more are added. What I want to do real quick is start off by talking about the 5 that are currently exist, as many of the other ones are built upon these. First up is going to be the green tote bot. These are the most basic enemies in the game. They will drop you circuit boards, as well as sometimes dropping their heads. They're very easy to kill, and they really don't do much damage to you. The next up is going to be the hay bots. Hay bots are far more dangerous than the tote bots. The hay bots can be found just spawned in the world. They will generally be inside of the ruined buildings, and they're also inside of hay fields. One-on-one, they're not too terribly difficult to deal with, but the trouble happens when you run into 3 or 4 of them at the same time, which often happens, especially if you go inside of a building and aren't careful. So if you don't have a spud gun, they can be dangerous. They will drop their spines, which can be refined into scrap metal. They also drop circuit boards and component kits. Next up is going to be the base version of the tape bot. These are the blue tape bots here. These can be found in and around the warehouses, so definitely be careful of those. They can also be seen in raids. So of these enemies, the only one that you will not see in a raid as of right now is going to be the red tape bot. But the blue tape bots are super dangerous. They often, especially in the warehouses, there might be 2 of them together, and if you're not careful, they can just completely wipe you out because they have pretty much aimbot accuracy, and they do quite a bit of damage, so you definitely have to be careful with them, especially when you're navigating through a warehouse. Next up is going to be the red tape bot. This is a variant of a base tape bot. The difference here is these guys shoot explosives. They're only found currently in the warehouses, typically like in the upper levels of them. Definitely need to be careful with them because they will just completely destroy everything with their explosives. And last but not least, going to be the biggest bot in the game right now. This is the red farm bot here. These guys are wandering around in the world. Typically, once you get past the first packing station, you'll end up running into them. They can also sometimes be near warehouses. Definitely need a spud gun to take care of these guys. They do not take any damage from melee weapons currently, and they will drop the warehouse keys. They also drop component kits, and you'll need to kill these guys in order to get into the warehouses. Things I didn't mention here are going to be the tape bots generally drop batteries, I believe. That's what they normally drop. They might be able to drop other resources, but generally they're going to drop batteries. So those are the 5 bots that are currently in the game. Now let's take a look at the 8 bots that we currently know of that are coming in the future. The first new bot that was revealed by the developers for the 1.0 update of Scrap Mechanic Survival was the Trash Bot. This was originally shown in Devblog 20 in December of 2020. The picture here in the background of the GIF in the background here is from Devblog 23 from March of 2022. That's when they showed actual gameplay of the Trash Bot here. So you'll notice it's a giant looking, it almost looks like the Farm Bot model, but it's going to have this green goop stuff on top of it, and it's got these arms that are shooting out the green slime stuff here, which it looks like it slows the player down. And then down here it says, we haven't talked about this messy clanker for a long time, so we'll keep this short so it doesn't stink up this devlog. We were considering not even showing it off until release, but since many of you have been curious about our new enemy, here's a GIF showing that he is alive and kicking, even if he's missing a few textures. So this guy's going to be the first boss of the game. That's what they mentioned in the first time they showed it off. So they're not considering the farm bots that are wandering around the world or guarding warehouses to be bosses. This will be the first boss. They did show off in the devlog 20 that this green goopy stuff down here is actually going to be used for, it looks like sticky tires, which will allow you to drive up walls and stuff like that. So that's pretty interesting. So you'll be rewarded for killing this guy. Not sure if there's any other resources dropped from it, but this is going to be at the top of the warehouses. The next bot that was shown off is going to be the cable bots. These were originally shown in devlog 21, which was in February of 2021. This picture here in the background, the GIF in the background here is from devlog 22, which was 7 months later in September of 21. You notice these guys are traveling in a large group here. They almost look like the little green tote bots, but they're a little bit smaller, and they're traveling much faster. They're down here. They're going to be eating through, it looks like, attacking your vehicles. So they will definitely attack your vehicles as well attack the player, which is going to be something to think about when you go into the underground area, because these guys, says the cable bots are really starting to shape up. Buried deep underground in the collapsed mine, these clankers come in great numbers, attacking both you and your creations on site. Sometimes they might latch onto your creation and gradually eat away at it. Other times they might simply leech off your battery or fuel resources. You better slap them off your creations before they start piling up. That's when they're going to do some real damage. So these guys are going to be, I guess, targeting your vehicles, and you can see here they're attached to the vehicle. So you're definitely going to have to be careful about that. I will say it'll be interesting to see if the ones I've shown so far and any of the other ones that I'm going to be showing in the future, some of the other ones would make more sense for attacking your base for raids, but it'll definitely be interesting to see if these guys do the same thing, because I'd love to see every type of enemy in the game when they're eventually added to be available for the base raids, because that would just give even more reason for me to do the base raids, which is my favorite part of the game. Next up is going to be the miner bot. This thing was revealed in devlog 24, which was October of 2022. So This thing looks almost like it's a flying motorcycle looking thing, and you'll notice down here that it looks like it's either possibly in the warehouse or maybe it's underground, and it's flying around here, and it'll say down here the little description what's coming up from the mine. So this thing is in the mine. It's a new bot, introducing the miner bot, Scrap Mechanic's first flying bot. These heavily overworked bots are flying on fumes. After all, they've been digging random holes underground in every direction, slowly overheating for who knows how long. If spotted, the miner bot will spray any mechanic it detects with a shower of rocks. While miner bots are not as accurate or alert as the tape bots, they can become very dangerous very quickly in large numbers, but even if you do shoot them down, watch out, miner bots can still crash into you. Miner bot is shaping up to be something that can even top the current bot. So this thing looks like it's going to be in the mines. I guess this is the mine area. It must be a building underground in the mines, and these things are flying around shooting rocks at you. So definitely a good interest, a good addition here. They're adding a flying enemy into the game. Right now, every enemy that's in the game is basically on ground. So adding a flying enemy to the game, definitely adding some variation. Again, it'll be interesting to see if they add these guys to base raids, because that would prevent people from building on top of like plateaus and stuff like that, or maybe building out on islands. These guys might be able to fly to you depending on how long they can fly or how high they can fly. So that would definitely be, it'll be an interesting addition to see if they will be in the overworld when you're doing your base raids. And then next up is going to be Devblog 25, which was released in March of 2023. This showed off 5 new bots that are coming to the game. So this was the biggest reveal just yet. First up is going to be the yellow taupe bot. You notice these things look like they have some type of springs on the top and bottom of them. And down here in the little GIF here, they are bouncing at the player. So they can bounce quite high, and they can also destroy buildings. Again, this will be interesting to see, like, if these guys are attacking your bases, or if your vehicle's just parked somewhere and you're not careful. Looks like these guys can just come down and completely smash everything. So this is definitely a cool variation of the taupe bot, because right now the green taupe bots really don't provide much danger in the game. And honestly, after the first hour or two, you probably just end up ignoring them and just running away from them, because they're not going to really give you much resources either. So down here it says the yellow taupe bot. Get ready to readjust your base walls or crank your vehicle engines a bit higher when you see this new bot jumping into the scene. Originally designed as a fully autonomous power trowel, the yellow taupe bot has since gone renegade. Now it stomps its way across the planet, eager to flatten any mechanic it sees, no matter how many ceilings and floors it has to smash in the process. So because it's saying here that you'll need to readjust your base walls, that would lead me to believe that these guys will be attacking in the base raid. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. I know a lot of people might not be, and I guess maybe we'll wait till the end before I talk about this, because I feel like a lot of these things, the way they're damaging things, might be a little bit of a turnoff to certain people, because a lot of people that play this game play it for the creative aspect and might not want all their stuff destroyed. But let's jump to the next one, which is going to be the blue taupe bot. So the blue taupe bot, again, revealed in the same devlog in March of 2023. This guy looks like it's got a little drill in its head, and it's got some flippers on here. You'll notice it is swimming in the water. This is definitely a good addition, because like one of my main gripes with the game when it first came out, or when survival mode was first added, and still to this day because nothing's changed, is you can go in the water and freely gather resources without any danger, because there's currently no bots in it. The green taupe bots will swim into the water, but they can't dive down, and they'll basically just swim at the surface and they can't chase you. These blue taupe bots, on the other hand, not only does it look like they'll be chasing you in water, they will actually chase you out of the water. So it'll make the going into the water and gathering oil, or the farming the shells for the clam glue, will definitely be a little bit more dangerous, and you'll have to think about it before you just dive into there. So it says, just when you thought it was safe to get back in the water, originally designed for offshore drilling, the blue taupe bot has since decided to become an underwater torpedo instead. To make matters worse, it can also move fast enough on land to catch up with any mechanics that aggravate it, so watch where you dive. Definitely a good addition. I'm glad they're adding something to the water. Next up is going to be the red taupe bot. I think this one might be the most controversial of every one that's planned so far. These guys have propane tanks on their head, or the explosive canisters on their head. And you'll notice here that when it walks up to a building, it just ignites itself almost as soon as it sees the player and just destroys things. Now, fortunately here, it didn't destroy a terrible amount of the blocks here. And those look like they're made out of like the basic wood blocks. So maybe it's not going to be too bad. So these guys are going to want to basically kill before they even get close to you, because the last thing you want to have happen is this right here, where it looks like it's blowing up the person's vehicle. And again, this is something that I think is really going to this one's going to be the most controversial, because I think a lot of people are going to be like, oh my God, I built this crazy looking car or something like that, or my vehicle, and I'm far away from my base, and then one of these guys just walks up and blows up their car and they can't fix it. So it'll be really interesting to see how prevalent these guys are out in the world, and how prevalent they are during the base raids, because I'm assuming they'll be attacking in the base raids. We've teased this clanker before, but we've never shown him in action until now. Originally designed to clear away mine shafts using explosives, some of the red taupe bots have since wandered up to the surface When they encounter a mechanic, they will ignite their payload before rushing at the target, and they won't stop until they've reduced their target or anything standing in their way to smithereens. Next is going to be a couple variations of the tape bot. So first is going to be the green tape bot. So you'll see this guy here has got like bubble wrap around it. And I think they're not really showing them like in action. They're just kind of moving around here. The green tape bot, you've already seen this little bot on our Twitter. Once this unassuming clanker would only bubble wrap fruits and veggies until the latest firmware update made it run amok. Armed with a roll of weaponized bubble plastic wrap, it might not pack much of a punch by itself, but a bunch of them can ruin any mechanic's day. So it kind of sounds like what this one's going to be is maybe a slightly weaker variant of the base tote bot, or the tape bot, which is the blue one, which will just completely decimate you really quickly. These guys, maybe they're going to do a little bit less damage, but they're probably going to be, it looks like they're inside of a building here. So I'm imagining these guys are probably inside of the warehouse, or it doesn't say they're outside the building. So they're probably just inside of warehouses. And then the last but not least is going to be the yellow tape bot. This thing's got a canister on its back, which is holding some type of, I guess it's paint or goop or something like that. Down here, they're going to show it kind of in action. It's spraying the player with this goop stuff here. So an elegant bot for civilized age. The yellow tape bot was perfectly harmless, designed to keep everything neat and tidy in storage by painting labels and its special four-color ink. Following a disastrous firmware update that made it run amok, however, this clanker has now a new purpose, not use the same sorting ink to hurt and slow down any mechanic it sees. So this stuff looks like it's going to spray you and then you're going to move much slower. It doesn't say if it's damaging the player or not, but it could just be that if this thing slows you down and you have a bunch of the regular tape bots chasing you around, that could definitely be interesting. And the background in here is something that I've not seen in the game before. So this must be either a redone warehouse or possibly just a new internal like building or biome looking thing. And then down here, I think they have a little bit more of it where guy's chasing you and he's shooting you with this. And then there's it looks like there's green ones and there's something else in the background there. Can't really tell what that is. No, those are the bubble wrap ones. So those are the different bots that are coming to the game. Like I said, I think I like the fact they're adding a flying bot and underwater bot. They're going to add, hopefully most of these bots will be available to attack you in base raids, which is my favorite part of the game. And I think they're going to add more variety to the game because right now you can pretty much explore the world relatively safely in a vehicle without having to worry about much, like just park your car outside of one of the ruined buildings and go inside and loot it, park it outside of a warehouse, not have to worry about it. With some of these guys, like the yellow tote bot and the red tote bot, those things looks like they can easily destroy your vehicle if you're not careful. So again, I think this might be controversial. Let me know if you're looking forward to let me know which one of the 8 new ones that's coming is the one you're most looking forward to and the one you're least looking forward to in the comments down below. If you found this video interesting, make sure to hit the like button. I'll plan on doing more scrap mechanic videos leading up to the 1.0 sometime later in 2024. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.